Somebody shout power. I'm so glad and I'm so happy right now that you are tuned into this particular session. And I'm going to be talking to us about how the physical evidence is killing your dreams. How you allow your physical evidence is killing your dream. My name is John Stella. If you know me very well, I teach manifestation in my school of manifestation. I teach people how to achieve the kind of life that they want, moving from point A to point B. And also, I have a coaching session where I would handtake you for you to achieve a particular dream of yours. If you tell me what you want, I can help you to achieve it. But it's a paid session, not a free one. If you want the free one, you can always link to this, my YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification icon. Now I'm going to be talking to us about the law of correspondence, how your physical evidence is killing your dreams. Can I tell you something today? Your life is the way it is because you are only magnifying your present result. If you are poor and lacking of abundance, lacking the good things of life, it's simply because your life, you are living in what you don't want. Life will keep on bringing those things you don't like, so long your eye is fixed on it. Your life, you will keep replicating those things which you don't want, so long you keep on putting your mind to it. As it is inside of you, so it will show to your outside world. Now let me tell you something. One of the biggest mistakes or challenges you are having is this. You keep waiting for your physical evidence to change for you to know that your life is improving. The third dimensional world, which is the objective world, which is the physical world that you are right now, sitting down watching me, you are sitting on the sofa, watching through your screen. That's your physical world. Tomorrow morning you go to work. That's your physical world. But can I tell you something? That part of the world is the last part of creation. Everything that has to change, that is the end part of it. So you cannot expect things to change immediately, because the world is not just malleable like that. It might be malleable in your mind, because in your mind you can stand and fly. In your mind you can stand and jump up and fly to a higher, but it's not just like that in your physical world. In your mind you can use a second to build a mansion, but in your physical world, for that mansion you built in your mind within a second to come out on the fruitful side, there is what we call a time delay. A time delay is a time of manifestation in your mind and the time it took for it to actually come to fruition. So you cannot depend on your physical objective world to determine if your life is changing. Right now, you may not have the kind of life you desire. You may not have the kind of life you want. You are poor, you lack food, your family is suffering, things are not really going the way you like it. That's true, that's evidential, but you can't rely on the evidential to determine if your life is improving. That is where the law of correspondence comes in. As it is in your inside life, that is how nature will make it to correspond on your outside life. Because your subconscious mind works through and through 24 hours to make sure it brings out that your predominant thought to your physical world. That is why you don't need to shout. If, for example, this is a mirror, when I'm standing and I'm looking at this mirror, definitely what I will see will be my picture. I will not stand there and see the picture of a tree, because what you project from your inside is what will be shown to your outside world. So, right now, to change your life outwardly, you must assume your wish already fulfilled and change how you see yourself. Change the kind of model you've placed or attached to your life. If you keep seeing yourself as a fool, you keep acting like a fool. If you keep seeing yourself as a wealthy man, even if you don't have it physically, in time to come, it will change, because the world works this way. Your mind and your physical world has some degree of latency, which means if you move like this in your mind, when you move in your mind, your physical world doesn't just move immediately. It has a time delay, or called latency. of some sort of time, it will wait. So if this is your mind and your mind moved, this is your physical world. It doesn't just move simply because your mind moved. It has a time delay. And when that time delay comes, it will now move. So that is why you jump up like a streaming app that has a latency. When you say come, in the real time when you say come, the people that are watching you, they may not immediately see you say come, but maybe within some split seconds, that's when they will hear you say come. That is how the world works in. When you keep vividly imagining the kind of life you want to achieve, live in the full assumption of whom you want to become. Live steadily on the full assumption of whom you want to become. You will notice something. You will notice that your life starts to change in trickle. You notice that something about you starts changing. At first, it may not be evident. It may not be evident. But sooner than later, some persons will start observing that something about your life is changing. Some people will even come to meet you and start inquiring about what changed in your life. And can I tell you something? At some point, sometimes you may not really just handpick and know the day that things started changing, but things have been changing because internally, you have been busy changing your paradigm. You have been busy changing the kind of person you want to project outside. So if the picture I'm seeing on this mirror is not the picture I want, like I'm waving, I'm seeing some split of pictorial view of my hand and my face. If this is not what I want, I don't need to start hitting this board to change it, because that would be, it would not make any sense. You will only be disturbing yourself. To change what I'm seeing on this mirror, I have to change what I'm projecting on this mirror. So if I change what I'm projecting on this mirror, what is projected on this mirror will display what I have projected immediately. So, but in the world, there has what we call a time delay. That when you start doing positive things to change your life, it doesn't just show radically or immediately. There is this thing called a time delay. And when that time delay is through, you start seeing your thoughts. Let me tell you, your life is what it is today, not because of what you did today, but because of your past thoughts and past actions. That is what has brought you to this present point. And if what you are seeing on this present point is not what you want, you have to go back to the past and ask yourself, what were you thinking? How were you working? What actions were you taking? Then come on this present point to change it. When you change it, your future now will not look like what you really want. So, but in the evidence part of it, in the evidential part of it, it may not just change. So that is why you don't need to just look at the evidence to say things are changing, things are not really changing. Because when you go to the gym today, you are fat, you have pot belly, and you are training on the gym, and you are expecting that today, all the gym you are gymming will just radically change your body muscular posture. It will not. And if because you went today and you gymmed, you did all the gymming and your tummy, your protruded tummy did not flatten up, and you give up and you say, oh, the training that I went today did not work, you have lost. That is how it is with your life. You have been putting positive things, and it may not show or look as if you've been doing something positive. But with time, you discover that something about you is changing. So that is why you must not look on the physical evidence. The physical evidence, when you are starting up to change your life positively, don't look at the physical evidence. Constantly maintain your internal radiance. Constantly maintain your internal configuration. That is where you should be looking at. Sooner than later, it starts showing evidentially. If Abraham in the Bible was looking at his physical evidence, every promise that God gave him would have looked foolish. Imagine telling a man that the wife is barren because of old age, that he will be the father of many nations or all nations. Imagine telling Abraham that was very old, in 100 years, that he was going to be the father of nations. Just imagine, how does it look like? The realities and promises of God does not match your physical evidence. They will never match your physical evidence. If God tells you that you're going to do something great and gigantic, your physical evidence will not really necessarily show that you have the capacity and the capability of attaining it. But you must rest, first and foremost, if you're a religious person or a Christian like me, I do believe in God. I rest solely on the capacity of God's ability to make me to achieve great things in Him. You might call your own universe, you might call your own whatsoever. But my own, I call it God because I believe in God who created the heavens and the earth. So you must not rest on the physical evidence. For example, you're trying to better your life and you went to the house, you lack food, you don't have food to eat. But meanwhile, you went for a course that is going to better your life. Will you now come back to the house and start feeling bad because you didn't have food to eat? Yes, naturally you feel bad. But you should not stay on that bad frequency. You should put your mind on the future frequency of knowing that you're going to become wealthy. Your physical evidence of poverty is a vibrational frequency. But your internal configuration, your inside life, your mindset is another set of vibrational frequency. Where do you want to dwell on? If you dwell on your physical evidence of poverty, looking and seeing how things are not really going well outside your life, you are running on a negative vibrational frequency. And when you keep focusing on that, you keep attracting that kind of lifestyle because like attracts like. But when you focus on your internal radiance, you will discover most definitely that like attract like, and that you start bringing up the things that are attached to this particular frequency. I'd like you to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel so that if more of this kind of videos come, you will be the first. You will absolutely be the first. You will absolutely be the first to see this kind of videos. YouTube will now push it to you. And I trust that if you've gotten value, you will write down on the comment section and say, I got value. If you want to have a one-on-one session with me, go down to the comment section below, write a simple word, I want to have a one-on-one session with you. And definitely I will reach out to you and I will send you an email that you would have to reach out to me through. Thank you very much for staying tuned. Thank you very much.